Good day everyone, my name is Mr. Jomar A. Bawit, or you can call me Chef Jomar. I will be your teacher for COOK004 dessert and packaged foodstuff preparation. For our today's lesson, we will talk about the proper food handling, food safety, and sanitation practices. Good personal hygiene can prevent food poisoning. Bacteria that cause food poisoning can be on everyone, even healthy people. You can spread bacteria from yourself to the food if you touch your nose, mouth, hair, or your clothes and then food. Food safety and hygiene is essential in the preparation and handling of food in a care setting. This is because adhering to food safety standards greatly reduces the chance that the individuals that you support will get ill from contaminated food. Okay, we're done with the intro, and now let's proceed to our lesson proper. In your own words, how are you going to define the word food sanitation? Yes, you're right. Good idea. Food sanitation is more than just cleanliness. It included all practices involved in protecting food from risk cross-contamination, harmful bacteria, poisons, and foreign bodies, preventing any bacteria from multiplying to an extent which would result in an illness of consumers, and destroying any harmful bacteria in the food by thorough cooking or processing. By keeping our food safe and clean, we can assure that we are free from any food cross-contamination. Food safety is a scientific discipline describing handling, preparation, and storage of food in ways that prevent foodborne illness. This includes a number of routines that should be followed to avoid potentially severe health hazard. There are 6 important factors of safe food. These are heat, time, cold, temperature, wash, rinse, sanitize, and hand washing. When speaking about temperature, managing temperature is a critical part of food service. If food is allowed to reach unsafe temperatures for too long, pathogens can grow in the food and cause a variety of problems. After food is cooked, one of 3 things should happen. It should be held at a proper hot temperature to be served. It can be properly cooled and held at a cool temperature so it can be served at a later date, or it can be served immediately. No matter what, the food is to be kept out of the temperature danger zone, which is 41 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius to 135 degrees Fahrenheit to 57 degrees Celsius. If food is to be held at a hot temperature at a minimum of 135 degrees Fahrenheit or 57 degrees Celsius or higher, it should be checked every 4 hours to make sure it does not dip below the hot food threshold. To food at a cold temperature, it needs to be held under 41 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius or lower. It should always be checked every 4 hours to make sure it doesn't go over the cold food threshold. Once food reaches the cold threshold, it can be held either a walk-in or reach in refrigerator, freezer, or a cold well. Hand washing. Hand washing, also known as hand hygiene, is the act of cleaning one's hands with soap and water to remove viruses, bacteria, germs, microorganisms, dirt, grease, or other harmful and unwanted substances stuck to the hands. In today's pandemic, hand washing is very important. This helps prevent infections because people frequently touch their eyes, nose, and mouth without even realizing it. Germs can get into the body through the eyes, nose, and mouth and make us sick. Do you believe that singing happy birthday twice, you can do a proper hand washing? Okay guys, let's watch this clip and go along with the happy birthday song.
Yay! Happy, 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 happy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Alright, good job guys. You have a good voice. Give yourself a round of applause. And now, let's talk about on how and when to wash your hands. There are 6 steps to do the proper hand washing. Number 1, wet hands and arms using running water as warm as you can comfortably stand. Number 2, apply soap. Use enough to build up a good lather. Number 3, scrub hands and arms vigorously. Scrub for 20 seconds. Be sure to clean under fingernails and between fingers. Number 4, rinse hands and arms thoroughly. Use warm running water and rinse for at least 10 seconds. Number 5, dry hands and arms. Use single-use paper towels or a hand dryer. Do not use your apron or any other part of your uniform. Do not use a multi-use kitchen towel. And number 6, turn off faucet. Use a paper towel to turn off the faucet. For easy understanding, to summarize it up, we have number 1, wet hands. Number 2, soap. Number 3, wash for 20 seconds. Number 4, rinse. Number 5, dry. And number 6, turn off water with paper towel. There are things to be considered on when to wash hands, and these are the following. When you arrive to work, every time you return to the kitchen, before putting on a single-use gloves, between different jobs in the kitchen, between or after handling raw, fresh or frozen poultry, fish or meat, after taking out the garbage, handling dirty dishes, mopping or sweeping, after using the restroom, after coughing, sneezing, wiping or blowing your nose, after handling chemicals that might make food unsafe, after touching your hair or your face, after using the telephone, after handling money, after eating, drinking or smoking, after touching anything that might contaminate your hands. Now, always remember, life is better with clean hands. Now, how and when to clean and sanitize surfaces and equipment. How? Number 1, scrape or remove food and debris from the surface. Use towel or other equipment as necessary. Wash the surface. Use the correct cleansing chemical for the job. Rinse the surface. Make sure to thoroughly remove the detergent residue. Sanitize the surface. Use a sanitation solution that has been properly mixed to the correct strength. Allow the surface to air dry. When to clean and sanitize surfaces and equipment. After you are finished using the surface or equipment, before working with a different type of food, anytime you have to step away from the task and there is potential for the surface to have become contaminated, after 4 hours, if the surface or equipment has been in constant use. How are you guys? Are you feeling good? Okay, nice to hear that. Let's move on the next topic. PPE stands for Yes, you're right. PPE stands for Personal Protective Equipment. For today's situation, personal protective equipment or PPE is must to wear. It is important to keep ourselves safe in the kitchen because that will save you from spending money seeking treatment. Because safety in the kitchen is vital. A number of protective tools have been invented. Below, we look at examples of personal protective equipment in the kitchen. Number 1, we have apron. A kitchen apron keeps your uniform or clothes clean while cooking. It acts as an extra barrier between your skin from different materials and ingredients used in cooking that might cause you injuries. And with the use of apron, it can avoid from any spill of food that we are cooking. Number 2, we have gloves. You can protect your hands by using gloves, specifically cut, resistance gloves that are made with various materials. Though you might still need to exercise caution when cooking, it is important to wear gloves to avoid contaminating the raw ingredients when preparing food. In your opinion, what is applicable for food handling? Plastic hand gloves or surgical hand gloves? Yes, you are correct again. Very good. Both of these gloves can be used for food handling and preparation. For surgical gloves, most used for food is a non-powder gloves, and most likely we call it rubber gloves that we use one time and then throw away. Next, we have hairnet. A hairnet will keep away the stray hair strands that you have to prevent contaminating the food with hair, so that it can avoid or lessen from falling hair and other unnecessary things that is not part of the food. Next, we have the mask. It prevents any saliva or contaminants from the cook to mix with the prepared food that may lead to spoilage. We use these kinds of acrylic masks for the person easy to disinfect and clean it. Next, we have closed shoes. Always wear closed shoes when cooking to protect your feet from any spoilage that may occur when cooking. It acts as a barrier between your feet from the different materials used in cooking. Closed shoes or any non-slippery shoes are recommended to use inside the kitchen. Leather shoes and rubber shoes are strictly prohibited inside the kitchen because they are slippery and may lead to an accident. Students, again, what are the PPE needed inside the kitchen? Apron, gloves, hairnet, mask, closed shoes. Very good. Okay, for the next topic, we have food hygiene. Food hygiene is the science that deals with promotion and preservation of health. It is also narrowed down on conditions and practices that serve to promote or preserve health. Food hygiene, otherwise known as food safety, can be defined as handling, preparing, and storing food or drink in a way that best reduces the risk of consumers becoming sick from the foodborne disease. The principle of food safety aims to prevent food from becoming contaminated and causing food poisoning. Hygiene. Maintain high degree of personal cleanliness and shall conform to good hygienic practices during all working periods. Food employees shall have clean outer garments and wear effective hair restraints. Here's the sample of personal hygiene. Brush teeth at least twice a day, use deodorant, shave daily, shower daily, wash hair regularly, and wash hands regularly. Take note of this, students. Take care of your body. It is the only place you have to live in. That's why we must be strict for ourselves in regards with personal hygiene. No bare hand contact with the food. Cross-contamination between ready-to-eat food and unwashed or poorly washed hands causes foodborne illnesses. Avoid contaminating food by providing a barrier between your hands and the food. Food safety first. Always use hand gloves in preparing and plating the food. What are the barriers to prevent contamination of food? Okay, that's correct. How about the others? Very good. Nice answer. The possible samples for barriers to prevent contamination of food are single-use gloves, deli paper, tongs, spatulas, and other utensils. Reminder: always don't forget the proper hand washing. Hands must still be washed in using the barriers to avoid cross-contamination. And also, additional information, hand sanitizer are not to be replaced hand washing. Bare hand contact is allowed when washing raw fruits and vegetables. Minimize bare hand contact with exposed food that is not in the ready-to-eat form. Okay, next, wiping cloths safety. Towels have been used as a way to keep foods warm. Control the moisture in the food storage and preparation. Dry dishes faster instead of allowing to air dry and for cleaning and sanitizing. Do you believe that fast food chain uses different color for wiping cloth? Yes, correct. Because by using different colors of wiping cloth, blue, green, red, yellow, and white will give you color-coded segregation in a restaurant, takeaway food, or either caterer. Harmful bacteria can be transferred between surfaces and areas which can cause food poisoning. Here's the list of the color-coded wiping cloth and their function. Number 1, we have blue, general restaurant areas, example, tables, trays, and so on and so forth. For the red, washroom floors and toilets. For yellow, disinfection of kitchen appliances like ovens and knives. Green, kitchen and food preparation areas. We have white. It is used for general cleaning. If you have time to visit a fast food chain, please do observe the service personnel cleaning the table. They are the only one who use different colors of wiping cloth. Next, we have paper towel use. Paper towels are meant for single use only, so don't use them for more than one task. And now, let's proceed to the tips for preventing cross-contamination. Wash hands frequently and between tasks. Clean and sanitize food contact surfaces. Between cutting different types of raw meat. Between working with raw meats and ready-to-eat foods. Anytime contamination has occurred. Storing wet wiping cloths in a chemical sanitizing solution between uses. Maintaining a personal hygiene and sanitation is important for several reasons, such as personal, social, psychological. Personal hygiene and sanitation prevent the spread of diseases and infections. If every individual on the planet maintains good hygiene for himself and the things around him, diseases will eradicate to a great level. Personal hygiene means keeping the body clean, consumption of clean drinking water, washing fruits and vegetables before eating, washing one's hand. Public hygiene refers to discarding waste and excreta properly. That means waste segregation and recycling, regular disinfection and maintenance of the city's water reservation. Quality of hygiene in the kitchen is extremely important to prevent diseases. Always remember, cleanliness for me means maintaining hygiene in food, maintaining clear-cut work, maintain the place of living and sparkling, maintaining clean mind with positivity towards others. Thank you so much for listening, my beloved students, and see you next week. Goodbye.
Happy learning at home with lessons made easy by Olivarian GoTeach. One proud Olivarian.